One thing we must be extremely careful about when trying to balance the volume levels of our Tonex preset, whether we're talking about the software or the pedal, is how our compressor is set. So there's a couple different scenarios we have to be aware of. I'm going to be utilizing a tone model from my OR30 DC collection here today. That's available at the link below at my website. This is what it sounds like just as I have it dialed in for the preset. Really lovely tone that I enjoy very much. Now, some folks like to just have the compressor turned off, and this is perfectly fine. If we don't use a compressor, we can simply use the model volume of the particular tone model to balance our volume. That's going to represent the final output volume of that tone model. And that's fine and dandy. That works great if we aren't using the compressor. Even if we are using the compressor, but we have the compressor set to pre instead of post, meaning the compressor will come before the tone model, that model volume will still control that output of our preset without any adverse effects whatsoever. Now, the problem lies, and it's not really a problem, it's just something we need to be aware of, is when we have the compressor set to post. Now, this is how I use the compressor pretty much 95% of the time, and I've heard from a lot of other users this is also how they use it. I love to have that post compression just set up to kiss the sound a little bit, to kind of control some of the peaks. And I just like the feel that it gives to almost all the tone models. Well, in this situation now, it creates something we have to be very careful of. Now with the compressor set to post, which means it's after the tone model, if I come in here, you'll notice if I hit this, I'm barely getting my gain reduction meter moving, but if I come and crank the model volume now, we actually don't get the same volume jump because it's hitting the compressor harder and it's actually causing more gain reduction to happen. So we can't really use the model volume as an overall master volume anymore because now we're sending it into a compressor. So in the case of having a compressor set in post, once we have our compressor set up the way we want, maybe we don't want it doing anything at all. Maybe we just want to turn the threshold down so it's really not adding any compression. But even if we do have it turned up higher, we will now use the gain control of the compressor or the makeup gain to be our final volume control. So it's going to kind of replace what the model volume would do. The model volume will now hit the front of the compressor harder with compressor in post, therefore affecting the behavior of the compression. So we have to be careful of that. It's still a control we can use. We have to be mindful of what it's doing to the compression though. So in this case, this gain control would now become our final output volume control for that tone model. I hope that that's a helpful quick tip, something to keep in mind, something that I've had a lot of questions about that have confused a lot of folks. I hope you enjoy the music on the way out. Links to any of the tone models you heard in today's video are going to be in a link below. Thanks so much for tuning in.